Content Days brings the IndyCar Series back to the Circle City. And that also means Speed Sports' Bruce Martin joins us here as well. Always a pleasure to have Bruce here in studio with us. So with IndyCar here, you see all these drivers for the first time for many of them in their different getups that we saw from years before, whether guys are being changing from teams or rookie drivers coming into the series. Anybody in particular pops out at you? I think it's always interesting to see guys in new colors. Sometimes like, that's just different. Anyone pop out to you as being
Well, one
really
of the things that popped out at me was it seems like it's a brighter mango at Arrow McLaren. McLaren's colors have obviously always been mango. Seems to be a much brighter shade this year. It was interesting to see David Malukas in the mango McLaren colors. It was also very interesting to see former Arrow McLaren driver Felix Rosenqvist now in the Meyer-Shank colors. He said one of the greatest things about moving over there was just how clean the race shop is at Meyer-Shank Racing. He even talked about how team owner Mike Shank will often help clean up the shop before he locks the doors at night. There was a lot of cases of familiar faces in new places, and that's going to happen a lot this year.
When you look at the entire series, everyone's always happy this time of year. You know, everyone has great expectations and high hopes for the season. Anyone in particular appear very chippy to you in the fact that they have a lot of things they think going for them right now, even though we're 2 months away from the first race of the year?
I always believe that when one season ends, the momentum of that season doesn't necessarily carry over to the next season. It's just two completely different things. But until proven otherwise, Alex Palou is the driver that everybody's going after. I really don't see that changing anytime soon. He just has an unbelievable amount of confidence. He's got a team behind him. It's going to really be interesting to see who's able to step up and give him a serious challenge at the beginning of the year. Remember one other thing. Should things go the way IndyCar has said they would, there will be an hybrid assist unit added to the cars sometime after the Indianapolis 500. So you're going to have the rarity of a season championship decided basically with two different formulas.
It'll be really interesting to see which teams can best utilize that dynamic for the second half of the season for sure. Hey, maybe if you're looking at one of the teams to challenge Chip Ganassi Racing, whether it is Alex Palou or Scott Dixon, Team Penske's got to be one of them. They have a big haul of drivers and looking to start the year with confidence themselves.
Well, in fact, Joseph Newgarden is going to step back a little bit from his social media persona. Bus Bros has been put on hiatus. There's not going to be any Bus Bros this year, at least not anytime soon. He says he wants to focus more on the joy of racing because he believes that with all the noise that was going on, social media, everything else that a driver has to do throughout the season, he pretty much had lost that focus and what he calls the joy of racing. He wants to bring that back. Should he find that joy of racing, he'll discover the joy of winning.
When it comes to Team Penske, you mentioned to me just a meeting of the minds there, getting everybody on the same page starting to the season?
It wasn't Team Penske, it was Penske Entertainment, the Penske Corporation. Tuesday night at St. Elmo's, five of the top drivers in the series, met with Penske Corporation officials and IndyCar officials, and that really gave them a chance to tell the drivers, clear up a lot of the misconceptions that may have happened during the month of December, give them their sense of direction and what they want to do this season in terms of maybe future TV contract, the hybrid assist, their marketing plan, things of that nature. The five drivers that were in that meeting all came away with a rejuvenated sense of confidence in the direction that IndyCar is heading. We're going to really find out here between now and the Indianapolis 500 in May what one of those key pieces is, which will be a new television contract. They really like all the things that NBC has to offer, but according to Mark Miles and others, there's a lot of other interested networks and media partners out there that want to be part of IndyCar, which is really saying something because a couple of years ago that was not the case.
Bruce Martin, always the lowdown on the business dealings of IndyCar as well. Bruce, what's going on with Dale Coyne Racing? Is there a big mystery as to who their driver's going to be? They just haven't named anything official yet.
I think we still know who their drivers will be, but usually with Dale Coyne, sometimes it takes a while until really all the deals are put together. But I think some of the aforementioned drivers that we have speculated would be there will be on that team. Remember one thing, Content Days this year was pretty early in the year. We haven't had it this early in the year, not as long as I can remember. Usually it falls toward the end of the month, maybe the beginning of February. I think a lot of those deals will come into place. But you want to take a look at a team that is much different than it was last year. Take a look at Andretti Global. New name. It's not Andretti Autosport, it's Andretti Global. But what I sensed was shrinking from 4 drivers down to 3, and the fact that it's Marcus Ericsson, Colton Herta, and Kyle Kirkwood. The personal dynamic between those 3 drivers seems to really be good, and it seems to be a really refreshing breath of fresh air from some of the downers that they had to deal with the last couple of years.
That is Bruce Martin. Check out all his work online at Bruce Martin 500 and with Speed Sport Magazine as well. We'll be right back.